What's up, everyone? This is the Go Along podcast brought to you by Hamburg Brewing Company. We are here live at HBC in Western New York, drinking a little berry sneaky. Jim?
Cheers.
Cheers, buddy.
We're
This is the
cheersing.
former blackberry sauce for
You-
the HBC aficionados out
Tell you.
there.
Very veteran. You're a veteran member of the HBC.
We were just
You-
hanging out with the brewer down there, the head brewer, and
We're gonna have a good off.
he was wondering where our Louis locks were.
we tell people we're doing people a favor. Since gambling became since internet app, the apps in New York became legal, we're doing people a favor. You make your own decisions. We're not going to help you anymore. You don't need our help / losses, whatever you want to say, but we needed to back away from the Louis locks.
I'll just
Louis
say-
is too good of a beer to be associated with a loss.
I totally agree.
Okay.
We should have found a shitty beer somewhere and
Yeah, like
associated
a-
that with the
Yeah.
gambling losses.
That's
and
all.
It's okay. It's okay. Live and learn.
Gamble responsibly. It's just like alcohol.
Just
you
like
know?
Peyton Manning says, right?
Oh, don't get me started on those commercials.
All I know is this, Jim. We haven't done this pod in a little bit. We're fresh off of a 12-day cleanse.
Your boy has kept you busy.
Fresh off the 12-day cleanse. Some puking, some diarrhea. I don't know what else was a part of that cleanse. I'm not really
Well, he
sure.
had a breakup. A
Did he? I
first-round
don't know.
loss or whatever it was. A first round loss, a breakup. This is what's great about podcasts and getting to learn and talk to people who have different kind of, where I was on the inside. I didn't like saying that, but I work for a team. You were in the media. And your takes on Aaron Rodgers, I have swayed now. I get what you're saying. I'm always such a talent first and believer in a rare talent.
I'm not saying he's not a rare
You
talent.
never have, but your concerns were worthy of what you've said and written about. I get it. It's enough. Like, it's wearing me out now. It wears your team out. It can, especially when you lay an egg like you did in the postseason. I'm with you. I get everything that you've heard and said comes true. And it's hard for me being on the other side of it because I see Gutekunst, I hear the press conferences, and if the first question to me as the GM, what are you doing with Aaron Rodgers? Everything we can to keep him. Of course. Nobody played better in the regular season. Regular season being the key word.
We'll get into all of that. And
I'm shot out of a can. I'm at Hamburg Brewing. I'm shot out of the can. I'm sorry.
You've had a few of those berry sneakies. You're feeling it.
We like our morning beers. Well,
morning beer. Well, it's 2:08 right now, so we're in good shape.
See, the morning to me lasts till about happy hour, the traditional happy hour, 5 o'clock, whatever.
All right, well, we'll get into his game, his season.
Yes.
The substantive decision of it all, because it is a decision for the Packers, for Aaron Rodgers, for a lot of parties involved. But let's just, I think we got to hit pause, right, Jim?
Pause.
I mean,
Calm down.
I was asleep. I think I woke up in the middle of the night. One of our kids was crying, and I checked my phone, and I'm like, whoa, what happened? Oh, Aaron Rodgers did what on Instagram? So he is as calculating of a professional athlete, let alone legit star, as you'll find in all of sports. He knows what he says. He knows the weight of his words. He knows how things are perceived. He knows how to rally the masses or rally the supporters on social media behind something, and he uses that. This isn't coming from me. This is coming from people with the Packers, people around the league. Everybody knows the playbook by now. I mean, his words carry a lot of weight. We see it through the season on the Pat McAfee show. Before that, he did a show with one of his friends in local media where anything he said, that became the story, right? So he knows how that works.
Oh, he's very media.
Yeah, so
very media savvy.
It's one of two things, right? Either he genuinely, at whatever it was, midnight, 12:30, had this moment of intense gratitude.
The thank yous.
At the end of a 12-day cleanse, and he just felt the need to really be kind to these people and thank people and There was the picture of Randall Cobb and Devontae Adams on the sideline at Arrowhead Stadium when he didn't play because he had COVID and they left the spot open for him. All of that, it's kind of went on. It almost felt like a yearbook post in high school, right? When you read in the back of somebody's yearbook, and that he was
I'll never forget when we.
Yeah. So either it was this spontaneous moment that's admirable, I suppose.
That's good.
I don't know. People use social media in different ways, I guess. That's how a lot of people use it. Or it was the calculating Aaron Rodgers, where he knows that he's Aaron Rodgers, the 4-time MVP, and that when he does this post,
So
we're all going to be a bunch of, rats just running in the same direction, and that's what happened.
What's
and
it
he
mean?
it's no coincidence that the next day was the appearance on the Pat McAfee show, and everybody was tuning in. I don't know what the final count was. I think it was close to 200,000 live viewers on YouTube, in addition to the Mad Dog audience and everything.
We were close on that with the Mahomes Terry Pagula story. I was a little upset that they edged us out, but yeah,
barely edged us out.
Okay, but calculated is the word you're saying.
So I'm saying he's playing up. So then the show starts and he immediately says, just there's no news to really share here. I don't want to disappoint anybody, but I was on this 12-day cleanse and here's what it was about. Like, either he just had this spontaneous moment of gratitude or he is obsessed with being in the headlines, in the spotlight, and needs the attention unlike any player in the league. I don't know who was on that plane with him, right? So it's
a good point.
I think it's he made it seem like it was going to be a quick decision, and he'd kind of let everybody know by now at the start of free agency where he's leaning. Here's the other element of it, and Brian Gutekunst made things very interesting. You're familiar with the Packers GM, Jim, so maybe you can shed some insight. But
I wish he was here
if
he was here drinking these very sneaky,
very sneaky,
very sneakies, we'd get the truth, which we've talked about before.
Okay. That's what we're all about at Go Long.
Liar.
Cut through the bullshit.
On the way here today, I was listening to Future, and the one song he has is called "Honest." Just be honest. Yeah. I'm just being honest. Liar, Liar, the movie. We talked about that. We need this. We need Gutekunst to have some very, very sneakies and let's get it out. They know. Listen, they know what's going on.
So
we don't, because you're right. They're good on how they say it. We don't know. Aaron Rodgers talks. We don't know. Gutekunst talks. Don't know. Give him credit.
To get him into training camp though last year,
right?
I think the retirement threat was real. I think he was thinking about it.
Probably.
He was unhappy, and we all saw his press conference, his airing of grievances. It was a festivus of sorts in Green Bay, Wisconsin in late July. But we were pretty much led to believe that there was this agreement behind the scenes. All of the reporting that was out there suggested that, okay, he's here, but they agreed when it comes to the spring, they're going to reassess. And if that Aaron Rodgers does want out again at that point, they'd make it happen. Now, Brian Gutekunst said this week to the media, there's no agreement. This is where I give Mike Florio, Pro Football Talk, a lot of credit. He pointed it out at the moment. He said, look, if it's not in paper, if it's not written, if it's not down on paper, it doesn't matter.
It's just he said, she said.
So what is it? We don't know. Does he have the ability to get out if he still wants out and wants to play, but not for Green Bay? I'm not sure. Green Bay contractually has all of the leverage.
I was going to say, they're in a good spot.
And here's where it's different than last offseason. I really do believe they have the leverage in the court of public opinion now, Jim, because they've made it very clear you can have, they're moving money around with Aaron Jones, with Kenny Clark, with all of their best players. They're making it clear, we want to create the room needed to pay you what you want. Devontae Adams, we want him. He can still do whatever he wants at the line of scrimmage. He can still defy COVID protocols and do whatever he wants down those lines. They let him.
Certainly.
He's got the freedom to basically do and say and act however he wants in Green Bay. And so if he still wants out, if he wants to make the stink this year that he made last year, Green Bay's going to look pretty good because right now it's Brian Gutekunst. Hey, what's the problem here? You got the money, you got the team. We brought your buddy Randall Cobb in. Um, we signed veterans on defense,
And how many points in the playoff game?
and they scored 10 points at home against Jimmy Garoppolo.
This is where I mean, honestly, it's when I was like, I can't. We talked about it before. I can't. This is where I'm at a loss as far as defending Aaron Rodgers. But if I'm Gutekunst, I'm still trying to do everything I can to keep him if he wants to play.
Well, let's get to that then.
Okay.
Let's get down to the nitty gritty.
Now, does that blow your mind? Put yourself in okay, because this is where I was kind of talking about where we have these different backgrounds as far as if you were Gutekunst, and you know all this about Aaron, as far as look, he likes the drama, he likes being in the media, I feel like he's setting us up, but there wasn't a better regular season quarterback than Aaron Rodgers last year. There wasn't. Why would you move on?
Is the goal to win the regular season or to win the Super Bowl?
There's the dilemma, because can you even get to that point without Aaron Rodgers? Can you even get to the playoffs without Aaron Rodgers? I'm not saying you can or can't. I'm just saying that's what you're talking about. First off, there wasn't a better regular. I hate saying regular season, but I have to keep saying that now.
I think
because
there was, though. I think Bob McGinn put it perfectly.
But Bob is, yeah.
And I know people, they went into a tizzy when his analysis kind of went mainstream there on Monday, but Bob nailed it. I think that this was a very efficient offense. It wasn't a big play offense. And it was Aaron Rodgers, very cognizant of his turnovers, very cognizant of his passer rating. And that's good, right? I'm not going to sit here and say he should throw 5 interceptions in a game. That's ridiculous. Obviously, it's good to take care of the football. But he takes it to an extreme to where, hey, what was the throw that won the Rams the Super Bowl? It's Matthew Stafford, no-looking Von Bell to Cooper Kupp when he's got no business throwing it to Cooper Kupp in that situation.
This is hard.
And I'm watching that Green Bay game. It was apathetic, listless. It was an Aaron Rodgers that we've seen in the playoffs. He's had some good moments, but for most of a decade, it's kind of been great regular season, let down in the playoffs. And I'm not saying that if they move on from Aaron Rodgers, it's Super Bowl or bust next year, but Aaron Rodgers isn't gonna play forever. He's not gonna play forever. At some point, you've got to make that decision to rip the Band-Aid off.
There's no way he wants to play unless he knows he could make a Super Bowl. Correct? Why would you want to even play for a team? Like, yes, Green Bay, he knows. If he comes back to Green Bay, he knows we can win the division. We will possibly be a 1 or a 2 seed. 1 seed's the only thing that matters now, I guess, with home field. But that's all pretty much a definite. Like, your team. Yeah, you got some new coordinators. That's not going to matter. That's going to be fine. Does Aaron Rodgers want to take the risk of going somewhere else? And then possibly there's a lot when you take that risk. And this is where you got to give Brady credit for having that, like, it takes guts at that stage in your career where you don't need the money. You're doing this because you want to be somewhere else. Yeah. You're tired of where you've been, and I want to show you I can win somewhere else. I don't know if Rodgers, I don't know if he has that. I don't know if that's what he's trying to do or not. I almost feel like he wants to stay.
He's got a pretty good safe space in Green Bay.
That's how I feel. It's
a very cozy, safe space where he can do whatever he wants for the most part, whether it's calling plays, whether it's at the facility,
and could be even more
doing a show.
Hey, Aaron, if you stick around, I know we got a new coordinator coming in. Hey, look, you're going to have more say than you've ever had. We want you here. I mean, they could do that too.
Completely. Jake Kumro, keep your phone on at this point, right? Because Green Bay might be offering you $100 million.
And Devontae Adams is just sitting around like, right. Look, don't tag me if you aren't signing him.
Yeah, I guess. But that's where I kind of get almost more irritated by the Packers sometimes, Jim, because it's like, all right, I get it. Aaron Rodgers is unbelievably talented. He is. He is.
It's just tough. It's just good.
But you have a team to run. Like, are you really willing to go through another offseason that you went through last year for the chance at making a Super Bowl run?
Yeah.
I mean, you think it's worth it? I mean, it's Super Bowl or bust.
Mm-hmm. I'm good with that.
I think you should look to the future.
Let me ask
I think
you this
enough is
then.
enough.
But
At some
here's
point, it's going to end, Jim. At some point, it's going to end.
very fair.
Take the picks and the players while you can.
Well, okay,
Take
now
it.
this is the gambling part, right? This is where the FanDuel and all of us come into play now with the gambling. You have we're talking about the most important position in sports, right? You have a guy that just won MVP. Yes, you didn't
What
get
a chance, right? What an opportunity.
You
to get
didn't-
what you want.
This is the gamble. Okay, so on FanDuel, if you do a parlay, a 3-team parlay, and you hit the first 2 games, right? They give you an option. It's called a cash out option. So say the parlay, if all 3 teams win, you might win $600. So what they do, if you hit your first 2 legs, they give you an option to cash out, say for 350. So they're saying, look, hey, good job. We'll give you 350. But do you want that 350, or you're like, I got to, I have a chance at 600. That's where Green Bay's at. Do they cash out? Because they're in a cash out play with Aaron Rodgers. To your point, yes, you can get something big for him, and you have a quarterback that you went on. This would be your cash out option. Whether or not you take it, this is the gambler in Gutekunst and LaFleur. If I'm the GM, I'm keeping Aaron Rodgers. I don't need, and I'm sitting here saying that, and I believe everything the postseason is real. It's real, but it's not like you saw any decline in his play. Being conservative isn't a lack of physical ability. That's a lack of a hang up he has if he's not taking chances in the big games. His physical ability is incredible. He's at a high level right now. You can't find that. It's what the Bills were trying to find desperately. They found it. It's what the Chiefs were trying to find. They found it. When you have the guy that's good enough physically, when you deem him physically good enough to win a Super Bowl with, then the conservative part, you got to coach that out of him or something. But to give up on that is woof.
What about the concern of retirement?
Okay, well, that
not
to me,
knowing what he's going to do, what he's going to say, how he's going to feel.
Well, the retirement part.
Moment.
I mean, that you've already played that. You got the court.
I'm just saying. Look, if you're Green Bay,
you got Jordan Love. You're prepared for his.
I think Jordan Love is a conversation unto itself.
Yeah, to itself.
But when it comes to Aaron Rodgers, like, my God, if Trey Lance, the opportunity to draft Trey Lance is going to warrant the 3 firsts. If Matt Stafford is getting 2 firsts and a third, and Jared Goff,
what could you get for Aaron right now?
Can you imagine what Denver Broncos are going to line up right now?
Denver, Pittsburgh, New Orleans. I feel like all these teams are going to be in play. I don't even know who has almost anybody who needs a quarterback, right?
Completely.
Could give you everything. And you have to wait. Obviously, you'd have to, yeah.
So if the opportunity is
there,
that's
where Gutekunst,
and the choice
LaFleur,
is to take that or risk
another
year of another divisional playoff loss and more drama and more nonsense, and you don't get anything a year from now?
No, so that's why right now as a Green Bay, they know what they would take.
And I get it. It doesn't behoove.
Like, if you're not coming with this, don't call us.
It doesn't behoove them to even come close to the T word. Why would they at this point even talk or entertain or pick up a phone when it comes to trading Aaron Rodgers? I get it. Like, let him work through. So we're waiting for this decision. I mean, is it so if we're led to believe that Brian Gutekunst is telling us the truth, that no agreement was made and that they're not going to give him the ability to just seek a truth. So the decision is if he wants to retire or not. So if he wants to play, then it's for the Packers. Right now,
if you're Green Bay, that's how you'd like it to be set up.
What's your guess? What's going to happen?
I think he stays. And the only reason I'm saying that is I'm putting my this is crazy. I mean, I've never been a GM, so it's bad for me to say. But if I was in that role, my area of, when I was paid to do in the NFL was to make decisions like this. Yes, I would do whatever I could to keep Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
It's the unknown is too. You're. Yes, you drafted Jordan Love, but there's so much unknown, right? Yes, he shows good signs for sure. He shows everything you'd want in where they took him, where he's at. Fine, just like when they took Aaron, where he was at when they had Brett. At this point, though, I still think you do everything you can to keep Aaron Rodgers. I really would. Now, when I say that to you, do you look at me as that's such a soft front office? Like, no, I'm asking because I feel like that's just my initial and how I would
No,
handle it.
I understand it. I mean,
It's a whole new your whole off season. So if because right now we're getting ready to do the whole off season game plan, right? This is what you do. You go away with the coaching staff and you hammer it out. Here's where we are cap wise. Who are we targeting free agency, draft wise? If your quarterback's in place. If Aaron's out, now we have a whole new meeting, right? Okay, now we got Jordan. Who are we bringing in to compete with Jordan? Because you got to bring in somebody to compete with him for the starting job. I wouldn't just hand it to him.
Mitchell Trubisky.
Fair enough. Oh, well, that's a whole other story.
Sign me up for the Mitchell Trubisky-led Green Bay Packers in 2022.
He beats out Jordan Love. But you see what I'm saying? It just causes you as a front office. You have one of the rare things in football. You have a MVP, Hall of Fame type quarterback. I run it till it can't run anymore. I do what the Steelers did.
Yeah.
I do what the Steelers did.
I get it. I totally understand it. We've talked.
But I'm not saying I'm right. I want you to say that. I'm saying what I would do.
The NFL is a game of survival. I mean, you've lived it. You've seen it. Everybody is looking out for their own neck. I get it. Like, if you've got this talent, and he's really, really good, and he makes everybody look better around him.
And he likes the head coach, and the head coach likes him. He likes the new offense coordinator, right? I mean, I read about the history of
the quarterback's coach.
I mean,
right?
I'm
Tom
sorry.
Clements.
I'm sorry. I said OC. Quarterback's coach.
Yeah, believe it or not, Jim, long ago, me and Aaron used to sit down for a one-on-one every spring.
That I need
for an
to
hour.
See. I need to see footage of. No, I'm just kidding. But no, I don't believe it. But yes, I get it.
I got to find the old quote up. But he had a lot of good things to say about Tom Clements here. You keep it going.
Well, no, I was reading. To be honest, I was reading a lot about what you were saying about what he said about Clements. And if your quarterback is happy with the quarterback coach, who he's with nonstop, he's not with the OC all the time. That's who he's with. If he's happy with Clements, he loves Adams. Adams loves him. You have a offensive line that is obviously capable of winning a Super Bowl. The special teams are going to get fixed, right?
Well, we've been saying that for a decade or so.
Okay, well, they made a little move that, you like to think is the right move. I just feel like if I'm Aaron Rodgers, I wouldn't go anywhere either. I wouldn't want to go anywhere. I wouldn't.
Green Bay is doing what Jim Mona suggests. They are doing everything in their power to convince Aaron Rodgers to want to be a Green Bay Packer. They're moving money around.
I'm a run-of-the-mill NFL front office guy.
They're bringing in Randall Cobb. You know what? And we poke fun at Randall Cobb. I get it. He made the big catch against Cincinnati. But let me just point this out. His body is breaking down. He's slow. He's small. Go back and watch that San Francisco game. The end of the game when Aaron Rodgers almost had a pick six. Randall Cobb is lined up at the top of your screen. And the cornerback, he knows he's not going to get beat by Randall Cobb deep when he's lined up. He's squatting on it. He's squatting on it and almost picks it.
We talked about this too. It's like, who's the defensive coordinator afraid about? He's afraid of Aaron Rodgers, obviously, and Devontae Adams.
Right.
Everybody else is. I hate to say it. In the NFL, a lot of guys are they're replaceable.
So I guess they're going to bring in buddies, give him a seat at the table now. So to your point, they are doing everything that they can to make him happy. And the reason I kind of agree with you, look, I think they should trade him, but I agree with you that he'll probably play for the Packers this season.
I feel like he will.
And you know what did it is this Tom Clements hire, because here's
you think that was calculated too?
68-year-old, it's retired. Like McCarthy brings him in 06. So he's with Brett Favre for 2 seasons. He's teaching Aaron Rodgers the position at the NFL level. So when I would sit down with Aaron, great relationship.
I would love to see I would love to hear the phone call, LaFleur to Clements. Tom,
Yeah.
hey, I know you're retired. Would you like a couple million to come out of retirement to coach, or whatever it is, a million to come out of retirement to coach the MVP who doesn't need coaching? Sure, Matt.
He really likes you.
He
You're
really
a
likes
friend
you,
of
and if you
his.
come on, you know what, Matt? I'll take you up on that deal. I'm ready for the challenge. You don't have to develop Aaron Rodgers, right? I mean,
Well,
it's
it's not a secret that Aaron Rodgers, when it comes to
no.
relationships,
That's what I was going to say.
whether it's friends, whether
It's
it's
a
family,
communication.
whether
It's a
it's
yes.
it's
It's a communication thing. They want to be able to
fragile,
yes.
and they've got a good one. So
They want Clemens to be able to tell Aaron, here's the game plan. What do you like? What do you don't like?
he likes Aaron. Aaron likes him.
That yeah.
Here's what was said in 2012. So this is 10 years ago, Jim.
I love it. This is unreal. This is the drama of the off season.
My gosh. So Tom Clements' name comes up in this Q&A and this one-on-one. And I asked Aaron, has Clements been a big factor in your consistency too? And he says, quote, the biggest. How so? And Aaron Rodgers says, very consistent personality, incredible teacher of the game, and the perfect dynamic in our relationship where there's a tight friendship, and I really look up to him as a person and consider him a dear friend. However, there's a line between player and coach that exists on the field where I look at him as a father figure, and to me, I never want to disappoint my father. So when I take the field, I want to make him proud with the way he has prepared me. The last thing I want to do is let him down. Obviously, a decade later, that analogy doesn't exactly hold up with where Aaron is at in his personal life.
Would agree.
But he and Tom Clements, unbelievably close. He and Nathaniel Hackett, incredibly close.
That's the key.
Tom Clements on this end of the personality spectrum, Nathaniel Hackett on the other end of the personality. Hackett's bouncing off the wall. You worked with him. He's
awesome.
He is full of energy.
Full
He's
energy,
fun.
fun.
He likes us schlubs in the media. He can't wait to talk ball.
He has like 8 different TVs in his office. When I say TVs, more monitors of just the way he's coming up with game planning and it's really it is. It's like a mad scientist with how he loves football.
And
Nate loves football so much.
Infectious personality.
Awesome. Like you want to be around him.
I was just gonna say he's somebody in
Awesome.
General as a human being you want to be
every
around.
Every time. When everything went down in Buffalo and Marone left, Hackett and I had a little lunch at right in Orchard Park. Is it Buffalo? I'll look up the name. Dang, I can't believe I'm Buffalo South. I'm drawing a blank on the little name of the place. We had a little lunch, and Hackett said, "Jim, interview me for the head job." And I sat there. I was like, "I'll tell you what, Nate. I was sitting there. I didn't have that type of obviously I didn't have that type of control at the time. Terry just came in. I was I was scared out of my mind for my job, to be honest. But Hackett's like, Jim, just get them to interview me for the job. I'm sitting there like, shit, Nate, you definitely have the energy, the positive. You're an outside the box thinker, which I love. I was like, yeah, then I saw where things were going and Terry, and they ran with it, and Russ and Doug, they interviewed like a lot of guys that year. That was the whole Frank Reich and a million guys interview. And they hired Rex, but
things worked out with Rex.
Well, that's why I go back to that conversation where Nate came strong on that luncheon. I mean, he knew whatever was going on wasn't probably good for him. And I'm like, I was like, yeah, Nate, I do think you want to be a head coach someday, and you do carry yourself like you care about you love football, you love the players. That's all that matters is the players. So, yes, to your point, he'd be hard to say no to. I was like, if I had the power, I may have hired him just based off the way he was selling me that day.
What a counterfactual, right? If Nate Hackett takes over the Buffalo Bills
instead of Rex
in 20,
instead of Rex, it would have been 15. The part of that we don't know, which it never went beyond that conversation, was who was going to be your coordinator. Was it going to be were you going to keep Schwartz? Hopefully you would have.
Yeah.
That's the part you don't know, because what ended up happening with Rex was everything just deep. We had a 4-3, 3-4. We didn't know what we were running. Your whole roster changes.
Yeah.
But we never went further than that to hear what Nate's plans were. But he made a pitch, just interview me. And that's his passion for football. And I respected that and always thought highly of Nate. It's really cool. I can't wait to see what he does. But yes, does Aaron like that? Does Aaron want to be a part of that?
And what is the decision for Aaron Rodgers? How much of a say does he really have with his destination? Because
Good point.
it seems like his camp has pushed that narrative that he does have a say right now.
That's a very good point.
And
almost
and
like he's
basically the
calling the
Packers
shot.
are saying no, we didn't make no agreement.
Green Bay's
We didn't make an agreement.
I like what Green Bay's doing. I will say they're not coming out and just saying, well, we're going to wait and see what Aaron wants to do. They're basically saying, no, we want you.
And I just think it makes so much sense for both parties.
Agreed.
Denver, well, I think Denver's got a top 10 pick. They'd probably throw in 2 other future firsts. What players would you want if you're Green Bay?
Is this the breakup? It's not you, it's me. Where you just look, I did everything I could.
Yeah.
You did everything. It's not you. You did everything possible.
Isn't it wild though that Aaron Rodgers has such an affection for 2 different types of personalities too? I mean, 2 very different people.
Hackett and Clements.
Yeah.
I will say this. We might be way over looking into this way too much, where I don't know if he's comparing Hackett and Clements right now. I would hope he's comparing rosters, how long he wants to play, financially where he's at, what can he do in Green Bay, what can he do in Denver financially, how long financially, and then how realistic is a Super Bowl.
And he's winking to Mike Tomlin on the sideline. Pittsburgh's in play.
Right,
possibly.
have fun, right? So, and then you look at the AFC and NFC. You got to look at that, right? If you're Aaron Rodgers.
Chicago's not going anywhere.
Look at the division.
Soon. Minnesota,
Green Bay's division.
Not. Detroit's
Green Bay's
not.
division. They're already going to win their division.
Yeah.
He goes to Denver. You don't even know if you're going to win your division in Denver. Right. To me, he's staying if he wants to play football and win a Super Bowl. It could be
about other stuff than football, though, too.
Now, if you leave Green Bay, my guess is you're getting more financially. Something's going to happen financially for you, happiness. Mm-hmm. You're doing it not for Super Bowl reasons. If you want to win a Super Bowl, you should stay in Green Bay. You were just the number 1 seed.
Tom Brady is a quarterback who seems so obsessed with that winning to an unhealthy level. I'm not saying Aaron Rodgers doesn't want to win. He wants to win, but I don't think it's to that kind of level. My point being, I think he would consider
leaving
outside the box.
Then to me, that's fine. And I'm not saying he's wrong. I'm saying he's not, his number 1 priority is not winning a Super Bowl.
Right.
If you want to win a Super Bowl, you stay in Green Bay.
He clearly won it out last offseason. We can't overlook that. Like for 5 months, this charade went on.
Well,
he had a hell of a team that just was in the NFC Championship game for 2 years in a row at that point.
And he got everything he wanted, right? They kept. I mean, if you want me to come back, I want this. Okay, we do it. He scored 10 points.
10.
That's the hardest part for me. Because I am sitting here defending him, keep him.
And don't throw the crap about the weather. I mean, look what Josh Allen did in the frigid cold in Buffalo.
No, don't do weather.
But,
he's one of the best.
We've been talking here for an hour or whatever it is. Like, I think we're in the same place. I think he plays for Green Bay.
Yeah. If he wants to play football, keep playing football, and win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It would have to be something insane financially, I think, for him to want to leave.
Yeah.
You can't go to the AFC to say you have a better chance of winning the Super Bowl.
Any NFC? I mean, Green Bay wouldn't want to trade him in the NFC.
No, I wouldn't think. Wouldn't think that's a possibility.
Anything else in the NFL offseason, Jim, before
I can't believe I haven't. It's weird we're at that spot, but is there anything else big? You fill me in.
No, I mean,
I'll say if
I know that
Steelers quarterback, obviously.
Russia's invading Ukraine today. That's something, right?
We sit here and we're sitting here like guessing on where does he want to make all his money, win a Super Bowl, and this. I know.
It's tragic. It's sad.
Tragic, sad.
And
well said.
It's the sad part to me is that it's like today people are talking about it, tomorrow and the next day and the next day.
And then
It's on to the next
on to the next
item
thing.
of bullshit in this country that
It's the
people,
hot topic right now. I know.
it's real life. And we don't get too deep into real life stuff on this podcast, but man, we got to pay attention to this because this is massive.
Well, it seems like a lot of countries are about to get involved in this.
Well, a country was handed over to the Taliban. Let's not forget that. We started there. Now this is happening. What's next? I wonder what Taiwan's thinking. But hey, people listen to this for an escape, so
Well,
I don't want to get. I don't want to get too far deep. But
here I am.
I agree with you.
No, but Tyler,
it's crazy to talk about this stuff.
No, it is, and it puts you back in reality sometimes. Where I'm like stressed out if Old Dominion's going to beat Florida Atlantic tonight.
Right.
But real life is this. Like, man, this is like, I know. We sit here in our nice little safe world, and then it's like,
yeah,
we're talking about where does Aaron Rodgers win?
I know, right?
I know.
That's unbelievable. So everybody, please, put your thoughts where they should be for sure. And but we're here as an outlet too. So
that's part of our job.
It matters. Everybody out there, thanks for listening, for watching.
Hamburg.
We appreciate it. Hamburg for hosting.
It feels so good to be back.
It feels great to be back. We're gonna have a lot happening at Go Long, so I plan on doing like a off season. Here's what's coming post soon for the site. The podcast will keep humming along. Do we have another cleanse coming up, Jim? Do we have any more cleanses?
The Rodgers cleanse.
Yeah. I would like a Rodgers cleanse. That'd be nice, right?
An Aaron Rodgers 12-day.
Man.
Break up with your girl.
Well, we thought that happened, but then he's talking about her on the show, so I don't know what the hell's happening.
We don't even know what's happening.
Nobody knows.
Does Pat McAfee know?
He's not going to ask him about it. All right. Thanks, everyone.